July 9th, 2025. How's it going, guys? Well, I've got another video for you. What are we going to talk about? Kansas City, Independence, Missouri. We're going to talk about crime, drugs, homeless, and there's a lot going on here in Kansas City and Independence, Missouri. Now, early this morning, started right off the bat, which was kind of unusual. A fire truck going up 47th Street with sirens blaring, which is kind of unusual because the fire station's down the road about 2.5, 3 miles down the road, the opposite direction. We're going to show that. That was 9 a.m. And then, I got lots to show you guys, but tonight we come back from up there at Liberty. And it looked like it was a state highway patrol or a plain Kansas City, Missouri vehicle had one car stopped up here in 435. But when we come back down off of 435 23rd Street, there's always stuff going on. And the homeless was crawling around. And over by Fiska, there was some hanging out in that one area like where they do the drugs and stuff. But that ain't the half of it. We got down here by that BP station at 23rd and Chrysler. And if I got a good shot of this, I'm going to show you guys. This one gal, it was like she was hopped up on something. Like she got high on something. But what was really weird, we turned coming back towards the house here on Chrysler from 23rd. We didn't get more than a few blocks away. And then there was another gal. Now these gals are older gals. They look like they were hookers, prostitutes, and they look rough. They look all drugged out. But both of them were higher than anything. And the second gal down on Chrysler was actually out in the middle of the road and yelling at people in the cars and stuff. And as we got further away, I could see a couple blocks away. I don't know if they dash cam. It looked like there was maybe an Independence police vehicle that pulled up against this one lady. But it just made me think, well, where did they get the drugs at? Somebody give them a whole bunch of stuff to get high on, smoke their meth. I mean, this is Kansas City. This is Independence, Missouri. Got a lot to show, so let's get started. All right, guys, we'll start this out. I was just heading out the door. This was right at 9 a.m. I wanted to show this real quick, too. You guys might be interested in this. You know, I do carry a body cam on me most of the time, wear it. But what you're looking at here is actually, those body cams are so good now that it will actually capture the sun. And if you enlarge this, you could actually, like if you were looking from like the satellites from outer space where you can see it in different, basically, what am I looking to say, through the spectrum of different colors, you can actually see the sun. And that is wild to think that technology has got that far advanced. But that's pretty cool. So no, that's not a UFO up there. That is the sun. And it's really awesome to see. But let's get on here to the bad stuff here in Kansas City and Independence, Missouri. And we'll get going. Nothing like starting at 9 o'clock a.m. here in Independence, Missouri in the morning. Well, there we go right there. What is that? What's that say there? Number, is that P39 maybe? Or is that F39? Something back there. Oh, it's 39. It must be Pumper 39 here. Well, they make a lot of runs. And sometimes these runs don't always go to certain locations. Well, I'm sure they'd say that was just a false call maybe. But they make a lot of runs. Lived here almost my entire life. Never seen as many runs as these vehicles make up and down. But what's really awesome is that from midnight to 2 a.m., they're making runs sometimes without their sirens. Where are they going? I mean, is it protocol for these firefighters to be out at 1, 2, 3 a.m. and they're not on call. You'd think they'd be hanging back there at their fire station. They're waiting to see if they got a call. And I mean, I guess if they're that energetic, I guess they could be polishing on that chrome, huh, guys? But let's get on with this. We got a lot more to show here, so hold on. Okay, guys, what you're looking at here is how the homeless hang down here off the ramps and stuff off 435 and 23rd Street. I got one I'll show you back from last Saturday night, too, because there was a white gal that was out in the center of the deal, and she was crying. And it was more later at night. I'll show that. But I wanted to show this, and then let's go on up here a little ways. Let's see what else we got here. Because there was one with a hurrying with a shopping cart. I don't know if I caught it with the body cam, but we're going to see. And there was 3 of them hanging up here by this Fiska station. So let's just check this out and see here. This one was hurrying with a shopping cart trying to get across there. Well, there it is right there. I don't know. I mean, that's pretty bad. I think it was a guy, though. I don't think that was a lady there in that one. But that's just a weird. Now, it was coming from Fiska over there. So they must be hanging out over at the Fiska station, some of the homeless. But see, some of these, there was a gang that was actually hanging over there, several cars with about 12 other people that was running drugs off that Fiska station. But tonight, there was 1 homeless sitting on the ground, 2 in the other area. We'll see if we caught that here or not. I'm going to show you. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there was 3 gentlemen here, 2 standing up, 1 back on the back side. I don't know if I go past this, you'll be able to see a little bit better. Let's see. I don't think. I might be able to zoom that in a little bit better. What you see is 2 gentlemen have the black shirts on right there, but there's one that's down here. These are all homeless, and like I say, the drugs. Usually, there's vehicles sitting over here. Now, there's people at work here, but that's different than what's usually hanging off to this side here. And then sometimes there's prostitutes hanging on this area. But I got something better to show you when we get on down here, right here, down here by Chrysler and 23rd Street, down by the Independence, close to the police station. And this was really shocking tonight, so hold on. Now, there was a lot out tonight. There was a lot of homeless out tonight. But when I got down here, these 2 gals that were several blocks apart looked like they were high as a kite. And that's what I hope I caught it so you guys can see it here. So hold on. All right. Now, this station right here, this BP station, usually there's a biker and a gal. I think Hook's over here, or maybe that's her pimp, that Harley guy. And then sometimes there used to be 2, there's still 2 guys over here riding bikes too. But this gal, as you can see, like I say, she's got her leg up. She was jumping up and down and throwing her hands in the air. Now, what's really going to be something, I'm going to show another view of this from my vehicle from another woman several blocks away doing the same thing and throwing her fist at people coming by in cars down on Chrysler. Now, this is Independence, Missouri. This is Kansas City. And this is stuff that needs to be dealt with, like I say. But let's take a look at this. Okay, hold on, guys. Do this one more time. It's about as good as I can do. But now we're going to get to the dash cam. So hold on. Okay, guys. Now this gal, she was still, I didn't know if I caught her when I turned here or not, but I wanted to show her first at that BP station. The drugs flow in and out of this place heavy out in front. And why they let them hang out at this facility, I do not know. Like I said, there was a biker with a gal that's always in back. That gal's always walking back and forth. But these are old gals. I mean, they look like they're worn out and meth heads and stuff. But this one was jumping up and down and sticking her hands in there. But that ain't the half of it. We're going to get several blocks away from here, and there's going to be another one. And I'm going to also go back down 23rd, but where I turned off 23rd to 435, because I think there was another one. And all these people, they was like they were all given something, like somebody gave them something to get high, and they were just rocking and rolling. I don't know if that was the case or what the deal was, but they were just all acting crazy, and that's weird. I mean, I see them when they're high. I mean, like that, but not like this. And not a whole bunch of them from distance away. It's like maybe somebody passed out some stuff for them to get high on or something. So let's hold on, guys. Let's see here. Since I got this in there already, I'm going to go on down here and we're going to see if we can catch this one gal doing it. And then I'll show the frontal view of what we've seen from the front. Let me see if I can catch this. But this gal was, she was actually throwing, I'm going to turn this hand spell on this down just a little bit so it's not so bright. And I have to go to the next frame. Go to the next frame here, guys. This lady looked like she was high as a kite too, and she acted angry. Whatever they had been on, they were all throwing their arms and fists and hands up. And this guy even took a swing, kind of like at one of the cars. Okay, here's the gal right here. And let me slow this down a little bit. And she takes, I want you guys to see how, now these are people driving by here in Kansas City, here in Independence, Missouri, and psychotic. Now I'm gonna drop this down to slow speed so you guys can see this, so I can try to keep up with this. But now here's the gal. She's gonna go out, she's gonna go around in front of this car, and then she's gonna throw her hands out. I want you guys to see this. So this is nuts, man. But she was throwing her hands out in front. I'll show a frontal view of this too, but I want you guys to see this. Now you figure we were probably, I don't know, a half a mile away from the other gal. But it was like they all had been given some kind of dope or something. I want you guys to watch this. I got this in very slow motion. And she's going to walk in front of that car. And then she's going to turn around and she's going to throw her fist out. See, she turned around. And see, you can see how she's bending forward towards that car. She's throwing her fist out. You can see the car moved over to one side. That's crazy. That is crazy. I want to do this one more time. But somebody had to give these people, if they had to be high on something. This was something else. This was something else, because this was not. But then I seen, because there's a gal right there. And I don't know. I got this is maxed out as far as I can, guys. Let's see if you guys can see this. She crosses in front of that moving car. Right there. She's bending over. She threw her hands out right there. Threw her fist out. Now, as we go further on down, I don't know if this, like I said, this is the first time I've done this. I don't know if the dash cam caught it, but I could see flashing lights coming up. So maybe somebody had called on her. Maybe she had been trying to get in somebody's house or something else. I don't know. See if we can see this flashing light, and then we'll go on from there, and then I'll do a frontal view, guys. But this is crazy. Like I say, we were there. I could see it in the back. I could see lights coming up. Should be able to see it. I don't know if the dash cam caught it or not, because we were way far away. Let's see if it did. No. Let's see. Advance this and see if I can. Don't know if it caught it. Yeah, you can see it right. See that light right there above that right there? That was a police vehicle right there. Right where you see that light right back there. So I don't know. I know they got her because she was acting crazy. So let's show a frontal view. Okay, guys, I'm gonna show you this too real quick too, since I'm on my frontal dash cam. Now this was either a state highway patrol plane vehicle or a Kansas City, Missouri. They had one right here. Stop up on 435, which is a good thing because there's a lot of bad stuff going on. I like to show the good stuff with the bad. It's good when they catch the bad guys. So let's see here. We're going to. There's a homeless, one of the homeless ones there. I'll let you see a frontal view of this, but I could have swore there was another gal too down here that threw her fist out. Let's see here. Hold on. There's a homeless there. Now I come from the Fiska station. Let's go on down here. You're not going to get a side view here of those other three homeless because it won't show it off of Fiska. Let's take a look and see if we can find this other one that I thought was up on this as we was going here. Let's see if I can advance this a little bit. For some reason I kept thinking, I could have swore there was another one on this right side here too. But then I got thinking, well, what would have caused all these women to be hyped up like that and flying high as a kite? I don't know. Let's see here if I can find my next one. Hold on, guys. I'm looking. I think I passed it. There's that new Phillips 66 they're building. Yeah. Trying to see if I could see this. I don't know. Let me look one more time. Hold on, guys. All right, guys, I can't find the one down off 435 where I turned. I know there was another woman also was high as a kite. Now, this is another homeless one. It looked like she had crawled out of the sewer over here. This is over here by the subway. She did not look good either, but she was not doing anything out of the norm like the other three. The other three like they were flying. But what you got to understand, if one was down there off 435 by the ramp, if one was down up here at Chrysler and 23rd Street up here, and then we had another one on down Chrysler, that's crazy. Because, I mean, somebody had to give them something. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me see if you can see this at all. Seeing that gal was jumping around. Oh, my God. Okay, let's get on down here to the other one where she was throwing her fist and everything, too. Can't make this stuff up, guys. That in a little bit clearer. Maybe I'll brighten this up a little bit to help a little bit more. A bit more brightness, more contrast, lower the contrast a little bit more. Hey, yeah, like that. That might help. That glare as much. And I see they're also over here on East 47th Street South tonight. They're doing their runs again. They have 3 or 4 cars in a pack running up and down our street here tonight, here in Independence. Well, they like moving those drugs. But I want you guys to see this. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Slow the speed down too when I get up here to the. I thought it was in this segment. It might be in the next one. It must be the next one, guys, so hold on. Okay, here we go. Now let me get this a little bit brighter. About 24 on that. And we'll do speed. Down to slow. See her throwing her hands out? That's where those gals were throwing their hands out. And it was like they were high floating. Watch this. See if I can zoom this in. She's throwing her hands out like punching, like throwing her hands back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's crazy. But they had to be hopped up on something, though. Now, this one, I think Independence got. But then it comes back to who gave them the drugs. And like I say, the lady was jumping up and down, and she was moving her hands up and down, throwing them in there too, down there at that BP station. And so was the one on down off 435 off 23rd Street. So somebody had to give them some meth or something else that really hyped them up. Something sped them up. One more time. It's like she was doing, like if you were doing like lifting weights or something, throwing her fist out. That's what was crazy about this. This is Kansas City. You can see she had her both fists up by her face, up and down, up and down. That's nuts. So hold on, guys. Got a couple, three other things I want to show you real quick. If I can find it here real quick. Hold on. All right, guys. This ain't the highest quality, but you can see what I'm... This was a Saturday night. And what this was a lady, white lady, that had her... She was in the center of the road down here at 435 and 23rd Street. And another homeless. And she was crying in the middle of the roadway here. Let's see if I can... stop this real quick again. Maybe I get just a little bit better angle. Yeah. It was dark that night, guys. Let's see if I can. As good as I can do. Well, that's not too bad. You can actually see her arm. You can see her arm right there. And she was holding her face and she was crying. Just another thing here in Kansas City in Independence, Missouri. This was Saturday night, this last Saturday night on this one. I hadn't got this out. And there was a couple other things took place too. There was a car down on 40 Highway. I want you guys to see what this thing did. So hold on. All right, guys. Now this car is going to... Okay, we're waiting... This was, like I say, a few days back. We were waiting to get up on I-70. This car is going to come. It's going to turn. And it's going to make a U-turn going back. And it was with this bike back behind here. Now, I don't know. I don't know if they met up and then the guy turned back. Like I say, there's a lot of dealings going on. But I wanted to show this real quick. Now, watch this, guys. I'm going to slow this down a little bit, too, here. So... This is nuts. Watch this. Hold on. So what do you think of that, guys? See if I can lighten that up so we can see that just a little bit better, that vehicle. Hold on. All right, guys. Well, it's a little bit better. I always love those darkened windows, don't you guys? So they can hide back behind the windows. Yeah. Interesting. Just maybe you thought, well, I wonder if there was another exchange that took place on this. I don't know, guys. So hold on. All right, guys, we'll wrap this up. I want to show this too. This was a couple days. I think this was on a Monday. And it just amazes me. You know, all these drugs, all this stuff, it slows down the reaction times of people's stuff too. I come across a lot of stuff where these people, while they're driving, just not all right. This was a commercial vehicle, and light was red up here. I get up here, this thing says Alpha Hydrovac on it. And he was the only one in front of me, and the light was still red. It turns green. I didn't even make it through the light. But his reaction time was so slow. In the beginning, he could have went. He didn't go. And then finally, there's some cars that come across there. I wanted to show this too. Let's just watch this real quick. Alpha Hydrovac up in Raytown. So there ain't no cars coming. Still wasn't no cars coming. There's going to be some here now. But he could have went. I had to sit through this light twice. And I thought, man, I don't know. You know, some of these, it's just like, I actually had to honk at him there finally. Because I usually don't honk at people. But I sat there for a while. I thought, gee, what's your deal? I don't know. Just another very strange thing here. But these drugs slow down the reaction time. It's a known fact, especially even the weed when it comes to driving and stuff. So hold on, guys. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. So how all these ladies were that far apart, and they all seemed like they were firing on something else. I don't know, but I think somebody had given them something. Because never have I seen that many of them like jumping around like that. And these people are getting more aggressive too. I noticed that like they get out in the streets and they throw their fist at people and stuff. Kansas City needs to be looking at this. Independence needs to be looking at this too. But like I said, I'm pretty sure that Independence Police got this lady because I could see flashing lights in the background. It was several blocks back, but I could see it with my eyes. Anyway, keep your eyes open and stay safe out there.